So last year, fantasy football did not end so well for me as I finished sixth in the playoffs. I actually won. Actually, excuse me. I finished second in the standings. Yet I was knocked out easily in the playoffs right away. So I was a one and done. This came a year after barely making the playoffs and also getting knocked out in round one. And I'm officially 3 years removed from my fantasy football title. We all know winning a title is not easy in fantasy. You got to have all the right moves, the right things happen at the right time. So this is my preparation for this year. So in my league, we get four keepers. Me and my commissioners, co-commissioners, have come up with this idea. So my keepers are Alvin Kamara, of course, T.Y. Hilton, Odell Beckham Jr., who is now on the Cleveland Browns, and Aaron Jones. Now, these players are something to behold. Aaron Jones, I believe, is going to be a top five running back in this league. He certainly can put up the numbers, and the Packers are going to go to the running game a lot. Some of these players that are on my team, I'm probably going to try and draft again if they're available. Jimmy Garoppolo is somebody I'm going to keep an eye on. Matt Ryan did good last year, but I don't think he's going to repeat what he did last year. We have Fairbairn from the Texans. He was a great kicker. I of course had the number one defense in fantasy. If you've played fantasy football for a long time, you know fantasy defenses never are the best 2 years in a row. So while I might take the Bears again, I'm a little hesitant on taking them again. Dante Pettis, I think he's going to do okay this year. I don't think he's going to be as bad as they're making him out to be in camp. I loved having Eric Ebron on my team last year as a tight end. However, I'm going to be targeting other tight ends instead of him. I'm looking for Hunter Henry, maybe OJ Howard, but if Ebron's there in my spot and they aren't there, I'm going to take Ebron. Allen Robinson was a big bust last year. He was a disappointment for me, and I was very disappointed in how he performed on my team. He kept getting hurt. Tevin Coleman, I think, is going to be the best out of the 49ers running backs. But as someone who follows the 49ers, I would advise to stick away from them, at least as a starter. If you want a backup running back on your team, Tevin Coleman would be a good option. But as a starting running back, he's not the best bet out there. Trubisky was good for all the times he ran the ball, and that was pretty amazing. I don't expect that to happen. So what's the strategy here? So I'm going to have two keepers at running back and two keepers at wide receiver. I'm going to be obviously looking for the best tight end to start off the draft, and then find one other player, and then that can be a good flex. And then of course I'm going to go for quarterback. I've always been a fan of Andrew Luck. I've been a fan of Jimmy Garoppolo, and of course I really am thankful for what Matt Ryan did last year. But I'm going to go in different directions with quarterbacks this year.